Sorry, I missed the first 7 laps. So, yeah, Foul Fury's just pointed out that Mr. BT has retired. So has Origin Gamma, Krishna, and Cal Cohen. Virtual safety cars out. Looks like there's not been so much change. Rudy's up into P9, Giles in P10, so they've made a few positions from the start of the race. Head Bob here, P12, DC P13, Dual P14. So Total P still leading the race then, and back we go with DRS enabled again. So on board with Harvey Lees, and he's got Walter on the right at the back of him. Walter's got DRS, as Walter's going to go down the inside of Harvey Lees, and in the background I can see Nathan making a move. In fact, they're both going side by side. Here's Mark and Nathan. As we go into turn 2, Nathan is ahead slightly because Mark's come back around the outside if he can, and Nathan stays ahead. So looks like Nathan got caught lacking there because Mark was right on the back of him. As we got yellow flags again.
Griffiths spun.
Where is he spun?
Griffiths spun in the hairpin there at sector 1.
AJ right in the back of Rudy to Griff down in P14 then on the soft compound tyres, so we might have to go back in the pit lane to change those because there's no point staying out on those soft compound tyres against those medium. Those mediums were a bit better than the softs by now. AJ still in the back of Rudy. Rudy's made up a lot of places. I think, where did he start? I think it was P14 he started.
Yeah, Rudy's up 7 positions already. So an absolutely unreal start for Rudy, and especially with him being on the mediums now, he's really going to have a pace advantage over everyone apart from your own in front.
Harvey Lees though down in P3. He's not going to be happy with this one because I think he knew he should have defended the ball against Total Peas, who took the lead off him into turn 1. Here comes AJ using the DRS. The side by side now coming out of turn 1, and AJ takes 7th place away from Rudy. Yeah, Rudy knew it was coming because AJ was right behind him with the DRS and overspeed. There was no way that Rudy could have defended that move, as Chi Griff has overtaken Dual for P13, or I think he's been under pressured by Dual for P13. Yes, he is, because he had that spin in the hairpin like Fowl said. Mark is still with Nathan down in P5, so those two still having a battle for P4 and P5. Nathan 1.6 seconds away from Harvey Lees. Harvey Lees still in the DRS range of Walter. Walter looking to try and catch Total P's for the lead of the race. He doesn't want to finish second for the 3rd race in a row.
Yeah, Vouter's getting a bit of a reputation here as an absolute P2 merchant. Not the worst thing to have, but yeah, he definitely wants to get his first win in CRL. He has the pace. It's just, can he reel in Total P's now? But also, can Total P's actually finish a race, which he hasn't managed to do so far this year.
And here comes Mark on Nathan then, and it's going to go down the inside into turn 1, and Nathan's still trying to stick it around the outside because he knows. Oh, Mark's got the curb and he spun. Oh, that's really harsh because he slightly touched the curb and that just snaps the car around.
Yeah, the curbs around here are absolutely merciless, and Mark's fallen victim to that there, unfortunately. He had been going really well. I think he had more pace than Nathan, but yeah, the curbs around here, they really bite.
It's taking the pressure off Nathan, but he's still got Jeroen Visser down in P5, and Jeroen Visser the highest medium runner. Now I think he did definitely make it to Q3, but I think Jeroen Visser was the only driver that started on the medium compound tyres in the top 10, if I'm correct about that one.
Yeah, yes, that's correct. He got through in 10th place on the mediums, so I'd say he was sweating at the end of Q2, but yeah, he just managed to get it done.
I didn't even notice that, but yeah, good spot out there, Fowl. Moving on to lap 10 of this race then, or lap 11, Total Peas has a 1.9 second advantage over Walter now. Total Peas, as you said, not finished the last 2 races. This is a big golden opportunity for him to start try and win races, because it's been inconsistent throughout the whole 2 races, but hopefully this one, that'll come to an end. He's known for his penalties, and hopefully he doesn't get one, because obviously it's crucial around here, and it's really easy to catch a penalty around here. He's hovering around the 2-second gap with Walter, the gap between P1 and P2. We've got Harvey Lees still in the DRS range, so he's not really dropping off behind Walter, but obviously Harvey Lees will be a little bit frustrated knowing that he was on pole position and lost 2 places, and he got caught napping a bit on the safety car restart, so he could have done a bit more, but oh well. Still like 26 laps to go this race, and see what he could do from there. Yeah, he's dropped out of DRS range. As you can see, the rear wing is not open, but Giroud Visser is closer towards Nathan now. He's going to start putting pressure on him soon, as he's got more ERS and probably better tyres towards this stage of the race, with AJ further back. So closest battle is between Nathan and Giroud Visser, but Head Bompier got knocked out in Q1. He's currently down into P10. He's putting pressure on Danny Boy, so keep an eye on him as we go on the straight with Giroud Visser and Nathan heading on to lap 12 at 36. Giroud Visser stays behind, but I'm going to go on board with Head Bompier.
Nice exit now, and he's closing in on AJ. Down the inside into turn 1, gets it done. Nice clean move.
AJ's going to try and come back though, but he hasn't got a better exit, so Rudy stays ahead for the time being in P6. So Rudy also making progress throughout the field. We've got Head Bompier down in P10. He's stuck in the DRS train, so there's nothing more he could do down there. He's on the medium compound tyres, of course, with Danny Boy on the soft, so his soft tyres will start to decrease slightly, and he'll come into pits soon. Giant there on the back of AJ now, because AJ's on the soft compound tyres, and Giant's tyres will be much better towards this stage of the race compared to AJ's tyres, so he'll be making a move soon. It's a big DRS train down from P6 to P11.
I think we've reached the point now where the mediums are much faster than the softs. Like you can see, your own is definitely getting held up by Nathan. Rudy got past AJ, and then now he's building the gap almost immediately then as well. So we're just starting to see now where the mediums just have the edge on the softs.
I'm noticing that the gap between Total P's and Walter is still 2 seconds, so we're still keeping that 2-second gap. Is Total P's doing a really good job to manage that, trying to keep him out of his DRS, and Giroud Visser not close enough to make a move on Nathan.
But Harvis had a very good lap, and he's after closing that gap, because he was just falling out of DRS range, and then now he's got it back down to half a second.
As you were talking, Giants made a move into turn 1 ahead of AJ, so he's cleared him, the soft runner, as AJ starts to fall backwards now, so the pit window is started to open for these soft runners, and they'll be coming into pit lane soon, I imagine. So will Mark down to P11 after that spin that cost him. I dare say he should be in 4th place by now, but sadly he's not. He's in P11. Were you racing a tier 2 earlier, Fowl?
No, I'm too fast for tier 2. What are you talking about?
Are you a reserve driver?
Yeah.
Ah, I see.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm a reserve driver this season, so I'm not able to make all the races. Starting to notice here that your own is definitely saving a lot of ERS. So he's just waiting behind Nathan, saving his ERS, staying in Nathan's DRS, and then just getting dragged along with that, waiting for Nathan to box, and then he's going to unleash some pace, I'd say.
I was on board with hard release. For a split second I thought Walter would dive off to the pit lane, but he didn't. He was trying to play the solution. We've got somebody's just crossed on the straight. That is Danny Boy, who's left a lot of debris. That's his full wing gone. We could see a safety car with debris shattered all over the racetrack, and Danny Boy heads straight into the pits there. There's no safety car at the moment, but Danny Boy, then what happened to him? Because he was nearly like halfway down the straight until that happened.
Yeah, I wonder if he just used his ERS on the banking. Like, he was on 13 level softs. He made a strange decision of starting on softs outside the top 10. And if you use your ERS on that banking, it is a massive risk of death. And I think Danny Boy's after finding that out the hard way there.
Yeah, I've done that before plenty of times. It's just a learning curve at the end of the day.
Yeah, and Danny Boy's, he hasn't had much time to get his eye in on the game. He's had his issues with trying to get some practice in, so I'd say he hasn't found that out to his cost as yet, as we have.
It'd be very interesting to see when the front runners will come into the pit lane. I think it's not well, if Giroud is going to go down the inside into turn 1, needs to make it nice and clean. He can't afford to battle with Nathan too much and make contact, because he knows he's on the old soft compound tyres, so he needs to bide his time a little bit until it gets ahead of him cleanly. And AJ is fighting, well, Head Bompier is fighting with Mark. Mark's got past Head Bompier. Interestingly, Mark on those soft compound tyres still going, and Head Bompier's on those mediums. You expect Head Bompier to be quicker at this stage on those medium compound tyres, but he has been struggling, to be fair, with Head Bompier in terms of pace, because he got knocked out of Q1. He's quite a long way off compared to the others ahead of him. He was 3/10 away from P18 or P17 in Q1.
Yeah, I think Mark actually has really, really good pace around here. It's just he was really, really unfortunate with touching that curb that sent him into the spin, and it's really compromised his whole race. And then now he's stuck in this train with drivers that he's definitely faster than around this track. But he's fighting his way back up, and we'll see how high he gets.
Focusing towards P6 because Jaime is right at the back of Rudy. So Jaime disposing AJ quickly is caught up to Rudy. So there's battle going on between those two. In fact, on the straight now, let's see what Giroux Visser does. He stays behind Nathan, but here comes Jaime on Rudy as he makes his way into turn 1. He's got past the hash driver and up into P6 he goes. So Jaime looks like he's got some decent pace on his hands. The first soft runner is in the pit lane as to Griff. He got nothing to lose really, so yeah, he's on a brand new set of mediums. Off he goes. Just wondering when the top runners will come into pit lane. Total P's has extended that gap towards 6/10 ahead of Walter. It was 2 seconds, now it's 2.6, so he's definitely got more pace than Walter. I think Walter needs to watch out for Harvey Lees now. Instead of focusing, trying to close in the gap for first, it's 2.8 now, so Walter is losing time towards Total P's. Harvey Lees is still stuck in there with Walter.
I know that the original plan for a lot of the drivers was to pit on lap 15, so they're actually pushing it even further beyond now, so I'd imagine those softs are pretty second hand at this stage now, and Wouter's really starting to lose a lot of time.
And Harvey Lees is going to go to the pit lane out of our leaders, so I think where's he going to rejoin? Let's have a look. I think he might be, yeah, he'll rejoin behind both McLarens. He's changed his full wing, so he's going to lose a lot of time, obviously, but if he managed to stay with Walter despite having a little bit of a broken full wing, that's impressive from Harvey Lees. So it must have been the contact with Total P's earlier on, because I can't imagine where else he could have got it. But he rejoins behind Tim, and he best hope he can overtake Tim as quickly as he can, because Tim's going to go for a long stint on those hard compound tyres. So this overtake has to be undone as quickly as he can on track. So I think Walter will respond to that. Now Walter doesn't know that Harvey Lees came in for a broken front wing, obviously to change his tyres, but for a broken front wing I didn't think he expected that. So he can stay out for a few more laps if he wanted to, but you don't want to risk it, does he?
Yeah, Hards also made the strange decision of going on the hards.
Oh no! Please,
oh,
he's just spun. Oh, Harvey Lees, man, and he's lost. Yeah, he's definitely out of this race now. He's lost his front wing, so he's no longer a threat towards Walter. Harvey Lees, what have you done? As Total P's. Yeah, those medium tyres can definitely make it towards the end, so I'm wondering why Harvey Lees went on the set of hard compound tyres.
Yeah, and I just wonder if they were maybe just not fully up to temperature when he was going around those corners. It take a long while to grip in. It takes like 2 laps around here before the hards that are eventually anyway usable. So I wonder if Harv was just pushing that little bit and then just lost the rear then as he was going around those fast right corners.
That's a massive shame for Harvey Lees. He could have got a potential podium, but sadly he threw it all away. And yeah, he's going to have to pit again. That's sad for him. Hopefully come back stronger in the next races. Total P's has rejoined in P6. Now Walter's left the pit, and Harvey Lee's got a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I dare say his race is definitely over now. He's retired in the pit lane, and yep. And Nathan's retired.
Oh, Nathan's retired.
Our podiums. He's crashed where Harvey Lee's he's crashed where Harvey Lee's has crashed, but this time he's lost a wheel. This is definitely going to be a safety car because it's right in the middle of the track. There's debris shattered all over the racetrack. So, yeah, safety car's been deployed. Walter has
has looked into his safety car. I'd say he's delighted.
It came out the right time for Walter. It could be perfect timing for him.
Yeah, it's really compromised your own race, because what does he do? Like, he's started on the mediums. He was in great position, but now it's too long to go on the softs. And
look at this.
Go on the hards?
Who's made it out first?
He'll go on the softs.
So Total P's has just rejoined ahead of Walter. Good job his safety car Delta wasn't that bad. Look at this foul. Giroux, no, I expected Giroux got a soft because he went from mediums to soft, but Jaime, hey, let me go check the strategies. Yeah, no, it doesn't matter.
Jaime and Rudy were all on mediums.
Yeah. I got confused.
Do-Will is doing the Uber Do-Will strat of starting on hards, and going until the end of the race, and then eventually making his mandatory stop. But look at him there, the crafty old fox, up there in P3, just managing to find a result. I don't know where he was in qualifying. Was he down in like 18th or 19th? And then here he is up in P3. He just always seems to find a way.
This could help Walter be back into play with Total Ps with the time he lost behind Harvey Lees. So this could be a fight between Walter if he's got the pace to keep up with Ps. Obviously, it's another thing overtaking him, but he'll stay in contact with him with the DRS and Slipstream. And those two will pull away from the soft runners. Might do, because depends how much Duval holds these guys up. If Giroud makes his way past Duval as quickly as he can, probably into turn 1, then he's going to be right behind Walter and Total Ps on the brand new set of softs, with Giant following in the Alpine with Rudy, Het Bompier. Then there's AJ and the mediums following his strategy from soft and medium. And somebody's coming to the pit lane. No, they're not.
Yeah, but you say that as if it's very easy to pass Duval. Think of Alonso and Hamilton in Hungary. That's what you're going to get with Duval now.
If Duval doesn't get caught lacking at the restart, then it'll be a very hard guy to pass. But if he does get caught lacking, then Giroud needs to pounce as quickly as he can. Isn't that right, Fowl?
Yeah, like, it's really hard to pass in Zandvoort, and you basically need the car in front to make a mistake. And if you're waiting on Duval to make a mistake, you're going to have to wait until this time next week, because he could do laps of Zandvoort for a week and he's not making a mistake.
Giroud will be hoping to get past that car as quickly as he can. Hope then Jaime, Rudy and Het Bompier will have to follow. Het Bompier up into P7 despite starting P18, so it's done a good job so far as Het Bompier. Now he's on the soft compound tyres, so he can defend from the medium runners and see where his race goes from there. He was struggling. He's been struggling the first 2 races, Het Bompier. He was up there last season. I think he got 2 podiums or 3 last season. I'm not sure if he got a race win in Hungary, I think, and he's got a few more podiums after that. Race, yeah, so Het Bompier's been struggling this season. Maybe it's the game, maybe it's the tracks he's been racing at. I'm not quite sure, but hopefully he can find his rhythm soon, because we know Het Bompier is a really good driver, especially when it comes to the race and quali, because his quali pace is amazing, his race pace is up there too, and I really hope he can find his feet again. Safety car is in this lap though, so Total Ps will be the effective safety car leader, and he can go whatever he wants to. He'll be wise about this, because he don't want to go straight away with white on the back of his tail. He'll go like halfway down the straight. Or he could go now. Off he goes then, and yeah, Duval's got a really good restart because he's tucked in behind Walter. Giroud is not on the back of him as we make our way. Oh,
who's there?
I thought Jaime would dive bomb Duval, but he's getting past Giroud. They go side by side now into turn 3. Giroud has the inside line. This is not what Giroud wanted whatsoever. He didn't want to fight with Jaime, he wanted to fight with Duval, and he's lost the place to Jaime. Jaime has made his way up into P4, and there's a Ferrari who's just spun, which is Danny Boy again. Twice in this race he's spun.
Lost the front wing again.
Danny Boy's not having good luck in this race. He's lost his front wing twice in this race, and now Rudy's on the back of Giroud. So Giroud Visser not really happy with his restart. He was hoping to get past Duval as quickly as he can, so he can fight the top 2. But instead he's got the other way around. He's got Jaime now to dispose of, and he's disposing Duval really quickly because he can go down the inside. Can he do it? Late braking from the 2 of them. None of them going to back out. And yeah, Jaime is up into P3.
From Jaime. Very aggressive moves from Jaime on the safety car restart. Is your own's getting past Duval as well? You go side by side into the last corner. Nice move from your own if he can get this done. Side by side all the way around.
Oh, car's lost it. There's a car lost it.
Mark is in the wall. Oh, it's been a horrific race for Mark.
Yeah, in the background I saw the AlphaTauri lose it, and I think he saved. I don't think he's lost his front wing. I think he managed to get back on track. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, but he hit the back of his car off the wall, and that's going to lead to unfixable rear wing or floor damage. So I think that's Mark's race done, to be honest.
There's no way Duval could defend with those hard tyres because Rudy's now on the back of him, and Rudy's hoping to get past him as quickly as he possibly can without making any contact with him. Yeah, he don't want to spend too much time behind him because he don't want Giroud or Jaime to pull away. The championship leader in P2, obviously. Rudy won the first race of the season, then retired in the next one. Losing his front wing. I don't know why he lost his front wing still. Maybe he put it in the chat, but I didn't really see it because I don't really look at the chat anymore.
Yeah, you're renowned for your skills with Discord, so
everybody tells me about that.
Yeah, but Wouters stayed within half a second of total P, so he should get DRS now in the next lap. And it'd be interesting to see if he can finally make a move.
James sets the fastest lap. I think you just said that. I just looked at a comment. Rudy's got around the outside of Duval in turn 1. Now it's Bobbier's turn to get past Duval. Duval defended as long as he could, but obviously it's quite hard with old tyres. And look at that. Oh, Tim, he saved the car. He was trying to get past Bobbier, but he made contact with him and lost the car, but managed to save it. As you can see, Bobbier trying to desperately get past Duval there. And he lost the place to Griff. Griff has made his way up into 8th place ahead of Tim. Now he's got AJ behind him, and Danny Boy's put again in the same place he did before.
Yeah, Danny Boy's struggling here now. But fair play to him. He came into the race with basically no practice. And as long as he finishes, he's still getting points on the board. So, fair play to him.
Tim, look at Tim, he's all over the rear of Griff. And here comes Bob here. He needs to overtake Duel on the straight now to stay in contact with Rudy ahead of him. Can't afford to stay behind Duel any longer than this. There he is, going to make a move. Duel's defended. Around the outside he goes into turn 1. He should have better exit with fresher tyres, which he does. And he's up into P6. So easy move from Bob here. Now we can focus on staying with Rudy and Javoon and Jaime. It's Dutch 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
In on Wouter.
And look at that. Tim has got past to Griff for P8, so he's made his way back. And look at C4 Game. I thought for 1 second he was going to go down the inside of that corner. You don't want to do that because it'll probably take both of you out. But C backed out of it smartly. But AJ seems like he's struggling so far. He's got C4 Gamer all over the back of him. He's just not picked up the pace. And look at that. Steve's desperately trying to get past AJ. They're on the same set of tyres, the same age. Well, 1 lap younger, but that don't make too much of a difference. As here comes Steve there. Will he try and go around the outside, which he does so. You don't really see moves being made here. And that's a lovely move from C4 Gamer.
That was a beautiful move. Good battling between the two of them there.
And
you always know with AJ that you're going to get a fair fight. And he proved that there once again.
Wouter in P2 right behind Total P's, but there's still a battle for P8. We've got Tegriff overtaking Duble, so Duble's going backwards now. He's got C4 Gamer and AJ ready to go past him. C4 Gamer. Yeah, C4 Gamer. I remember now. He made a mistake, or something happened to him on the first lap because he was right in last place in 20th place, and now he's back up in the top 10. So I'm not quite sure what happened to C, whether he spun or not, but he's back up there now, and P9 looking to score some potential points. So good recovery drive from C4 Gamer. I was trying to figure out what happened to him, where he was at the beginning of the race, but now I remember. Will he go down the inside here? No, he thinks smartly about it. He was trying to get the DRS off him. I'm trying to make the same move he did on AJ. He's quite mature, he's driving.
We know that Seep has great pace, so like it was surprising to see him all the way down there. I think he got into Q3, so he must have been in some incident on the first lap. Yeah. Does he go down the inside to do well? No, thinks better of it.
AJ still looking to try and get past C4 Gamer, reclaiming that P10 place and keeping a battle for P2. I think, look at that, he's got him in his clutches now. I think he'll try and wait for the last lap. Will Wouter. And here comes C4 Gamer. Duble also has DRS, and C4 Gamer has used all of his DRS. That's not going to help him in the long run. He's still got capacity.
It's almost impossible to get your ERS back around here as well. So C4 Gamer has really compromised the end of his race by using it all now.
Yeah, like you said, Duble's got defended really well, because you remember the soft runners overtook me easily, but the medium runners look like they're struggling to overtake him.
Yeah, he's not the easiest man in the world to overtake.
The top 3 looking interested though, all separated by a second between Total P's and Jaime, so that should be an interesting battle. But Jaime, if he wants to win this race, he needs to overtake those two as quickly as he can before those soft tyres start to wear off. As see, will he try and go down the inside? No, he can't. He still can't get past Dougal on this occasion. This is his second time in a row now he's been trying to get past Dougal in that same corner, but hasn't made it stick, so he's going to have to try something different like he did on AJ. He did it around the outside on AJ. Will that work this time? But as you can see, both running extremely low on the ERS, but AJ's got more ERS combined as Tim's got past Bompia for P6. And Seavorg Gamer still got to get past. Safety car is coming out for sure. Yes. If that's a safety car, that will help the soft runners save their tyres a bit. And I don't think the safety car will be coming out. As Seavorg Gamer gets a much better exit. Here he is. He has to go on the grass momentarily, but still got to get past him. I thought he had a much better exit, but looks like Duwall still in P9. This must be frustrating, but as long as Steve's keeping it very cleanly, that's all that matters really, doesn't it?
Yeah, and the other thing is that Duwell still has to pit.
That is true indeed. Now, Seb, can he try and overtake him this time? Down the inside like he's been trying to do for the past 2 laps? Nope, he stays behind, not close enough on this occasion like he was the past 2. He has to set himself up nice on the straight, but the thing is though, his teammate's not doing him any favours. Now he's out of the DRS range, because last 2 occasions, Duwall was in the DRS range of his teammate. Now he's not, of Seeb's teammate. And this time he hasn't got DRS to protect himself, and here comes Seeb. And AJ will follow shortly. Here comes AJ on Duwall. Duwall will try and find this around the outside, but with the lack of grip on those hard tyres, I doubt he'll stay there. And yep, he's in P11. Both RPs on the podium, by the way. I just noticed that.
I was praising Duwell earlier on because he was up in P4, but he probably should have pit and put on softs.
Yeah,
because
that was the right strategy.
He's just falling down the field, and now he's in P12, and there's only Mark behind him, and we've seen how many adventures he's been on so far today.
Yeah, Mark hasn't had the pace, has he, this race? Like last race as well.
I wouldn't say he hasn't had the pace. I think he just hasn't had the consistency. He definitely has great pace. It's just a case of the fact that he keeps throwing it at the wall. Like
with P's then, but his time penalties also yeah, he's got no time penalties yet, has P's, so he's done a good job.
Nobody has any time penalties. That's an incredibly clean race.
I think I would by now. If I think I'd definitely get a time penalty by now.
Yeah, well, you love time penalties even more than P's does.
So now Steve's got past Duwell. He's putting his teammate under pressure. His teammate's got all the tyres compared to Steve, so expect a battle between those two soon, between the two teammates, the Aston Martin, to Griff and Seeb. But we're focusing on the top 3 because Total P's, Walter and Jime are in close contention, and obviously the longer Jime stays behind these two, the better for these two, because the medium tyres will be better than the soft soon if they keep it like this.
Yeah, and the other thing is that Jime's using a lot of ERS to stay with the other two. Vouter and Pete's, we know, are incredibly quick drivers, and they're just proving it here. Like, Jime's on the quicker tyres, using all his ERS, and he's still hanging in there. Like, he's never really put Vouter under any pressure, making any moves or anything like that.
This is the closest.
Close to P's.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. This is the closest Walter has got to P's. Will he make a move? No, he won't. Can't go for a switchback. He'll stay behind. You don't want to lose too much time fighting him through these corners because it might allow Jime to get back up. But C4 Gamer has overtaken his teammate. I was saying that the past 1 lap, but he's done it, and now he's got AJ to defend him from. Oh, C4 almost lost it.
It'll be interesting to see how high up Steve can get, because I think he has the pace on Het Bompier, and I'd imagine he has the pace on Tim. And Rudy seems to struggle on this track, so it'll be interesting to see.
Oh dear, somebody spun. That's an Alpine, is it? No, it's not. Is it? Who spun? Jime, no!
Jime. And he's gone again.
Oh, that's him out of the contention for the race, and I'm glad Ghosting's on, because otherwise that Aston Martin would have smashed into the back of him. Yeah, he's retired.
And he's retired on track.
That's caught on stream, so that's possibly a penalty.
I think that's a slam dunk of a penalty, but yeah.
I've been caught many times retired on track.
I know. I did it to you once myself.
I've still yet to serve my penalty. Oh yeah, good
so
question. If I come back in ISO racing, will I have to serve my penalty for retiring on track?
And for all of your other misdemeanors, probably. Yeah, so we're down to a 2-horse race up front now. Pease and Wout are just absolutely stuck together at the minute.
Now Chime's gone, Vettel, this puts less pressure on Walter. All he has to do is focus on first, no longer third.
Yeah. And Wouter had been saving up his ERS for ages and ages, and he's just starting to use it now, just trying to increase the pressure on Pease. See if he can force him into making a mistake. See if he can try and make a move.
Maybe he'll do a Jerome Visa.
Do what Jerome did to Wouter last week?
Yep.
It's not a bad idea. There's a reason Jerome won last week.
It's like when you're behind somebody and you're in a DRS train, it's easier to save ERS. The guy behind you. I don't know why, but I've always noticed that if you're second place or third, or if you're behind somebody and you're fighting them, it's always easier to save your ERS. You save more ERS because I think you brake earlier, etc., and brake harder allows you to save more ERS compared to the guy ahead.
Well, I think it's also a case that the car who's ahead is using her ERS to stay ahead, whereas you can just chill in behind them and then just let the DRS carry you along, so you don't actually have to use any of your ERS.
That's a better explanation.
I think that's what Wouter's doing here. It's definitely what Jeroen did last week. Like, Jeroen had 70-80% of his ERS left, and Wouter only had like 10. So that left him vulnerable. But P seems to be managing it well. He actually has more than Wouter at the minute, but it's very, very similar.
But for people like me, I always go for it. Not all the time, but every like 2-3 laps, I always go for it. But we always race differently. I think this is the smartest. This is the smartest way to race, in my opinion, for Walter and P's. The way I do it, I just lose too much ERS, and therefore I lose towards the end of the race. I always learn something off these guys when they finish a race.
Yeah, I think you're giving yourself too much credit there by saying 2 or 3 laps. I'd say 2 or 3 corners is more your style.
That was a good one. That was a good one. But do you know the battle between Tim and Head Bompia? Despite Tim getting past Head Bompia, he's still holding on, like towards the back of Head Bompia. But definitely, C4 Gamer has definitely closed in on Head Bompia. But the thing is, though, there's only 3 laps to go. Can Head Bompia try and close it enough and try and get past Head Bompia? Because those tyres will start to go off soon. And yeah, they both got the same EOS status, 5th, 6th and 7th. And Griff is also hanging in there on his teammate as well, so he's not exactly pulled away as C, but the DRS is stringing Griff and AJ along. Duel's still not pitted. He's still not pitted.
This is what he does. This is the Duel strat. He just whispers like the nicest things to those tyres, and he just gets them to go on forever.
If there's a rule where you can take your tyres to the end, he could possibly do it, but obviously you have to use more than one tyre set.
Oh, I'd say he'd use those tyres again next week.
That's a Sergio Perez thing to do. Lap 34 out of 36, so Walter's got 2 chances left to try and overtake Pease. Well, what else is happening? Seeves closing in slowly on Head Bompia. He's only got a matter of time to do so, but Head Bompia's done a really good job in my opinion. And Tim as well, because I believe Tim got knocked out of Q1 as well, so 5th and 6th, despite getting knocked out of Q1, I've done an epic job so far, P5 and P6. I've not seen, maybe made a little mistake somewhere, but I've not seen them made major mistakes, and they've been consistent as well, so give credit to them for P5 and P6, so good job from those two. C4 Gamer also, from the back of the grid, something happened on lap 1 from C4 Gamer. He fell down to P20. I'm not sure if he made contact with somebody or got in the grass or something like that, but he's fought his way back up to P7. AJ, it's not been a good race for him, and Nathan bottled it, so did Harvey Lees.
So did Mark. There's been a lot of bottle merchants in this race.
So Harvey Lees, Nathan Booth and Jime have been podium contenders, and all 3 of them have thrown it away. and therefore has left Giroud to pick up the scraps in P3.
It's been very impressive from the front two. Not only have they been relentlessly quick and just so consistent, neither one of them has picked up a warning in this race.
Are they? They're also both in relentless, aren't they?
No, just Vettel. Pease is
I
in
thought-
IFR.
Oh, I thought was Total P's in relentless.
No,
Oh, I thought it was.
no, but that would have been a nice plug if they were.
Yeah, it's the last lap. I think Walter is his very last chance. He needs to hook up these final few quarters. But Total Peace has gone in there, sliding. So they could bring Walter into play if he needs to get a really good exit coming out there. This is Walter's last possible chance to try and overtake. He needs really two good exits to try and close in and overtake. This is Walter's last chance to do anything now. He don't want a third P2. Because he don't want a third consecutive P2, does Walter. He wants to win this race, his home Grand Prix. He might have left it a bit too late. He had chances to do it before, but yeah, I think I don't know where else he could overtake.
Yeah, the P2 merchant strikes again is what it looks like at the minute.
Walter will be frustrated.
But credit to Peace. Living with Wouter behind you is not easy. And he's had to do it since that safety car restart. He hasn't got more than half a second ahead. Wouter's had DRS every single time, and Peace has been faultless.
The only mistake...
Considering how he's driven the first two races, it's very, very impressive comeback from Peace.
The only mistake I've seen Pease do is that corner, the last lap. Other than that, he's been perfectly fine, and Total Pease has revived himself. And no penalties, no mistakes, except that one, but that don't really count because he got away with it. And he's about to come around the final two corners to score his first points, and not only that, his first podium, and not only that, he will come across the line to win the Dutch Grand Prix for the first time. Walter will finish in P2. Giroud Visser will come across the line to finish in P3. And Rudy will finish in P4. Tim P5. Hebobia in P6. Look at C4 Game is right behind him. And he didn't get him. Wow. He closed in a lot.
Yeah, Sieb's had the fastest lap of the race on lap 35. Unless Dewill's about to absolutely smash it here now.
He should. His tyres are only one lap old. He should get the fastest lap.
Well, Mark's going for a 2 behind him.
We'll get the fastest lap of the race. He comes across the line, and yes, he does. But what about Mark? Mark's improved by 9/10, but will those 9/10 be enough to try and get that fastest lap? Let's see what he does. Can he get the fastest lap?
He's run out of ERS.
No, he doesn't.
No. So Mark bottles that as well as the race.
Could you invite our podium interviews to the race?
I'll do it now.
Total Pease, when he took control of the lead in the first lap, he's just controlled it ever since, not put a foot wrong. Total Pease, this is the Total Pease we need to see more often, because he's done a fantastic job. Look at that. It's been a Dutch domination behind him, 2nd to 7th, Dutch people. So Total Pease wins ahead of Walter. Walter must have left it too late, ahead of Giroud Visser, who picks up his second podium of the season, second consecutive. Rudy in P4, ahead of Tim in P5. Well done to Tim as well for starting P19 actually. So Tim's definitely my driver of the day along with P's in the books. Hebobia for P18 for P6. The Aston Martins come next of C-Roll Gamer and to Griff. AJ in P9 ahead of the Real DC, who finishes in P10. For his second time in a race, DC in P10, the top 10 for him, so good job from him. Mark, disappointed race yet again, and Jai in P13. And the retirees, P13 to P20, with Cal Cohen going first. Are you inviting our podium?
Yeah, I've added the 3 drivers who finish in the podium to the party. You just have to see if they accept.
I think Total Pease will definitely accept because last 2 races hasn't gone well for him at all, and he's back where he should be, in my opinion, because he is a really quick driver, but he made no mistakes, no penalties today, and no rash decisions. Kept it all clean, all smooth, all consistent, and this is what got him in the win. He didn't crack under pressure from Walter behind him, And Walter, his
Yeah,
third
also Total
consecutive
Tease isn't
P2.
exactly the shy and retiring type, so I'd imagine he'd be getting on here so that he can brag about how he's now the greatest driver ever to have driven around Zandvoort.
He beat the 5 Dutchmans behind him. I was expecting Wilder to try and win this race, but that's his third consecutive P2. He's still leading the championship, but he don't want to finish P2 every race.
Yeah, he just doesn't have it in him, does he? I just don't think he's very good at the game. The absolute P2 merchant that he is. Disappointing if none of the three of them joined. I'd like to hear.
Maybe they saw your invite thinking, why is Foul Fury inviting me?
Oh, your own has joined.
Hello. I think the others will be joining soon as well, so yeah.
Happy days. Here he is. The winner has joined as well. And Vouter, we have all three. Lethal.
So, Foul, if you want to ask questions, you can do so, mate. And start with P3. Dream Visitor. So, I didn't realise you started on the medium tyres in the race until Foul told me. So, what happened? Did you want to start the mediums, or did you not get a soft lap in?
Yeah, basically, I did my PB in mediums by 4/10. I was just about ahead of Wout on the mediums, and I finished in P10 and broke down my soft lap, and I started as the only one in the mediums, and then yeah, tried the medium soft.
Oh yeah, I did think I remember you backing off on your soft lap. I thought you already did a soft lap and you were just going for again to make sure you're secure. It did say you're the sauce, but yeah, I understand now because I did remember seeing you backing off. But can you explain us? Can you walk us through your race?
Yeah, I had a shit start. I was on the wrong side, like on the outside. Got passed by 3 people.
Yeah.
And yeah, I tried to stick in the train. People in front of me, Mark and Nathan fighting, then keeping behind Nathan, saving up ERS. And yeah, they all pitted except for Wouter. I was catching him on the mediums against the old softs. A lot of ERS, but then the safety car came out, so it fucked it a bit. I think my strategy would have worked a lot better if I didn't have the safety car, but yeah, then at safety car restart, Jimmy made a little dirty move, like he left me no space on the inside of the hairpin. Almost crashed, and yeah, from then I had no DRS, and Rudy behind me was pushing, but I had him on pure pace,
So if Jaime didn't make that move behind you, and you made that overtake as quickly as you can on Duel, do you think you could have stayed in that train and try and challenge the top 2 for the race win? Because there was no way you could have done it because you were just too far away from first and second to do anything. You were about 3.5 seconds behind. There was no way closing in on them. So if you managed to get past Duel as quickly as you could, and do you think there was a chance of winning the race from fighting the top 2?
Yeah, I don't know winning the race, but like if I was P3 in a train, I maybe could have gone for on the softs for P2, but I think P3 would have been the result anyways.
Is that all you could have hoped for in this race then, mate?
I didn't expect to be here on the podium, because yeah, I just hate this track, don't like it, and I'm not that quick here. So yeah, it's good points for the championship. Just try to stay with Wouter, P2 merchant.
Both Williams scored again, P3 and P5. Good results again for his second consecutive race. So it's your second consecutive podium as well. So both Williams look like they're doing a really good job because your teammate started down in P18 or P19.
Yeah,
now
mate,
P5.
he's driver of the day.
Yeah, I voted him driver of the day as well. Well, going to vote, shall I say?
Job. He did a good job.
congrats to the podium again, Jeroen, and hopefully a good race for you next one. And Val, any questions to ask for Jeroen?
Yeah, no, I think you pretty much covered it all. I just think that just want to congratulate your own. Like he was saying, how much he hated the track and that he wouldn't be able to finish it, and that he was going to spin every corner, and he managed to not do any of that. So fair play.
Thank you, Farrell.
Well done.
P2, moving on to Walter. Walter, you here, mate?
Yeah.
Third consecutive P2, Walter. You must be absolutely frustrated.
No, I was just extending the
Mr.
gap
Consistent,
right
well done.
You extended your championship lead again, but that's your third consecutive P2. Run us through down your race, mate. Do you think you left it too late to try and overtake P's?
I don't know. I think Peace had to make a mistake for me to overtake him, because I think I was 4 tenths behind him in one of my attempts, and he still managed to even have a car length into turn 1. I don't think it was possible.
Before the safety car came out, do you think you could have caught him on pure pace, because the gap was like going up and up towards the first and second? But if it wasn't for that safety car, do you think there was no chance of catching him up? Because his pace seemed proper good.
No, I don't think so, because I think we were running the same pace till the end of the stint, where he gained quite a lot of me. But after, the safety car came out, and then I got lucky this time, but still, I needed to be ahead of him at the safety car, but still got me.
Val, you got any questions to ask for Rudy?
To ask for about her. Do you think you're ever going to not bottle a race?
I started from P5.
I don't know. I think you bottled qualifying. Like your pace all week has been much better than what you showed. Disappointed, to be honest.
Thank you.
No problem.
Belgium next up. I'll win that one.
Okay.
Could it end that curse?
I hope so.
Congrats for P2 again, mate, and hopefully you can try and win the race next time.
Yeah.
Move on to P1. Total P's, you here, mate?
Yep.
I must say that race was amazing for you, because you made no mistakes. You didn't crack under pressure from Walter behind you. You were consistent, clean, and ever since you took the lead off Harvey Lees at the start of the race, you just been in control and dominant, mate. So you must be very happy with that one, knowing that you've got it in you to try and win races and not make mistakes.
Yeah, it was good to come back after the first 2 shit shows and survive this race. I think it would have been a bit more comfortable had the safety car not come out, because Wout had fallen back behind cars for like 2-3 seconds, and we had like such similar pace for like 10-15 straight laps that he wouldn't have caught me. The gap would have just stayed the same unless I made a big mistake. So safety car made it a bit touchy, very, very touchy, and he nearly even got me on the safety car because he'd pit just as it came out. But yeah, no, it was a good race, good result, and just tried to keep on the track.
How would you what happened in your last 2 races then, mate? Do you think you were being too patient? And yeah,
I think Britain, it was just getting ahead of myself, making stupid mistakes. Like, I think on this game, we should make one mistake, the mistakes just keep rolling in. And then France, I was going well, 2-stop strategy, I would have recovered to maybe 3rd, 4th, but then I make another mistake and it just goes to hell from there. But I'm just glad it didn't happen again today.
I think you led all the race. Yeah, you did actually. You led every single lap of the race. And did you kind of know that Walter was going to try and get you on the last lap?
Yeah, and I knew every time when he was going to get me, because I made a couple of mistakes, because on the chicane, the one where you hop, I hopped it and then I got a bit wobbly on the exit, so I knew these are the laps that he's going to come for me. And on this track, unless you're right behind him, like 2-3 tenths, you're not going to get him. So I knew as long as I get a good exit off the last corner, I'll be able to defend my position.
That's all I can say, really. Just want to say, hopefully we've got to see more of that from you in the next races. What's the next race? Do you know? Any of you?
I think it's Belgium.
Oh, Belgium, that should be a good track. We'll start from Jeroen. Jeroen, do you think Belgium be a good track for you?
Yeah, I like the track. this game is good. So yeah, looking forward to it.
What about you, Walter, mate?
Yeah, I'm quite. I think I can do really well in Belgium.
And you, Peas?
I'm not looking forward to it at all. At all. I don't want to see the track.
Oh,
We've got to do what we got to do. In the end, sometimes you don't even have to be the fastest to win the race, so we'll see what happens there.
wish you all the best in the next races, pal, mate. A big pleasure to commentate with you for the first time.
No problem, man. It was a lot of fun.
See you all for the next race here at 8:30 at the Belgian Grand Prix.